Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Our top focus on 7 at 7. Is there a projection by the government which suggests that by May 16th there would be a flattening of the curve? We're going to get you more about that. But first up, I want to get you up to speed with the numbers right now as they stand with India's fight against COVID-19. The total number of positive cases right now, India records 23,452. We've recorded 723 deaths so far. The worst hit states continue to be the state of Maharashtra, standing at 6,430 with 283 deaths. Second is Gujarat with total cases of 2,624 with 112 deaths. Delhi comes in third with recording of 2,376 positive cases with 50 deaths. This data, viewers, recorded up till just about half hour ago right now. But I want to take our viewers through on the entire states and union territories. 22 states and our union territories. Where do they stand in their fight against coronavirus? So let's call it the green zone, which have cases under 500. Well, those are the states and UTs of Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Bihar, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Manipur, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Goa, Puducherry, and now even Kerala. All of them are recording cases less than 500. Let's take you to what we are now calling the yellow zone. 500 to about 1,500 cases. 3 states in it: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, West Bengal, till about 1,500 cases from 500. Let's move on to what we are calling now the orange zone. 4 states stand in the orange zone: Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh. Now these are states recording cases just about up to 2,000 cases. Now let's take you to the red zone. And our 3 top states recording the highest number of cases come in from there. The city-state of Delhi, Gujarat and Maharashtra come in to the red zone. So this is what it looks like standing right now at 7 p.m. on India's fight against COVID-19. But let me quickly take you through the top 7. All right, let's begin with the latest news break coming in. Now, these are the mathematical projections given by the government. The government of India has projected India could very well flatten the curve come May 16th if the current lockdown situation persists. If the current situation in terms of the trend suggests that India could very well flatten the curve come the 16th of May. All of this in the current circumstances. Now, this data or this mathematical projection has come to the fore with the case of how cases are doubling in India. So there is a slowdown of cases of doubling every few days. And if you keep the current projection trend in place, as in if this trend continues, then May 16th is when India could very well look at flattening the curve. What does that possibly mean? Well, that's another question. Would it mean that the government could maybe extend lockdown in certain areas which are hotspots for the coronavirus? Certain states could continue a lockdown for a little longer. We don't know that. We don't want to speculate. But what we do want to give out is that the government has now projected mathematically 16th May for India flattening the curve.
लॉकडाउन का असर जो दिखना शुरू हुआ 4-5 अप्रैल से दिखना शुरू हुआ, वहां मैंने लाइन दिखाई है, क्योंकि उससे पहले वो असर दिखने से पहले हमें वक्त लगता है कि ट्रांसमिशन पे इफेक्ट होने के 10, 12, 14 दिन लगते हैं। तो आप देख रहे हैं कि उसके बाद स्लोइंग हुई है, और अगर आप देखें कि मैथमेटिकल मॉडल दिखाता है कि ये ऐसे फ्लैट होना शुरू हो रहा है। और आप ये भी देख रहे हैं कि अभी भी जो हमारी सेकेंड फेज है लॉकडाउन की, उसमें हम मिडिल स्टेज में हैं, और क्योंकि असर अगले 14 दिन, 15 दिन, 20 दिन भी चलेगा, तो हमारा ये असर मई के पहले से दूसरे हफ्ते तक भी दिखेगा।
All right, so I want to put out the graph that has been given by the government. You see that graph right there? We'll play it full frame. Now, if you see how this is all mathematical projection, you can see the curve rising, the cases doubling, and then you see the slowdown of the cases doubling. And then if you can see that dip, if this current trend continues, we can possibly see an ebbing of the curve or flattening of the curve come May 16th. We don't want to speculate whether the lockdown will be extended or not, but what is the government thinking? I'm going to cut across to our National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, joining us right now on the phone line. Rahul, can you take us through, because this graph mathematically suggests 16th May is when India could possibly see the flattening of the curve.
Preeti, one thing can be said with great certainty, that if anybody, while there are indications through various guidelines and others which are being talked about, in terms of certain relaxations being given as far as the lockdown is concerned, top government officials are certain of one very single fact, that after May 3, all restrictions will disappear, is not going to happen. In various degrees of restrictions and containment and segregation are going to continue all over the country, but it might be there. The second element is that this lockdown period impact which the government is talking about factors into the fact that over the next couple of weeks there has to be caution and consolidation as far as the containment and lockdown efforts are concerned. And we have seen that in Noida, for example, the transit of movement between people between Delhi and even Noida, even that has been curtailed. That is singularly been done to ensure that the contract between people can be broken. And that is why, what sources are saying, that even till May 21st, there might be severe or partial restrictions on movement of trains and several other entities, so that the containment can continue. And that is why India enters, as government sources are saying, a very critical phase, that from here on, the effort needs to be doubled to keep people away and through containment, so that this flattening of the curve can be made a consistent factor than being a one-time kind of an element.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Rahul. So this is what it looks like. Will this actually hint at maybe extending the lockdown in certain states that are facing a high import in corona positive numbers? We don't want to speculate, but you just heard our National Affairs editor. He will be joining us again at 10:30 because this is the story we're going to focus on. May 16th, is that the D-Day where India could possibly see the flattening of the curve? Mathematical projections seem to suggest so. I just want to move on now. In its daily briefing on coronavirus, the government informed that in the last 24 hours, 1,684 fresh cases have been reported, taking the total to 23,077 cases. The Health Ministry also told that currently India has a recovery rate of 20.57% and the nationwide lockdown has significantly helped. Government said that if there was no lockdown, the country would have 73,000 cases. Let's listen in to some of these announcements.
कल से भारत में कोविड-19 की टोटल एडिशनल संख्या 1684 केसेस आए हैं, which takes our total confirmed cases to 23,077. Total cases under medical supervision are 17,610. कल से आज तक में 491 लोग क्योर हुए हैं, which takes कि हमारी जो टोटल क्योर होने वालों की संख्या को 4,748 लेके जाती है. इसके द्वारा हमारा रिकवरी रेट अब अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 20.57% है.
कि आज हमारे जहां पे लगभग 23,000 केस हुए हैं, तो ये इजी रिफ्लेक्शन है उसी मैथमेटिकल मॉडल की, उन स्कॉलर्स की. दिखाते हैं कि 73,000 तक आज नंबर पहुंच जाता अगर हम लॉकडाउन वाला फेज को ही अगर पकड़ें. अगर
All right, now the state government in Tamil Nadu has taken stricter measures to contain the spread of COVID-19 crisis. The government has ordered a complete lockdown in Chennai, Coimbatore, Madurai, Salem and Tirupur between April 26th and April 29th. All shops except hospitals and pharmacies will be shut. Delivery of food will be permitted. Amma canteens and ATM services will be open. There are certain restrictions for banks and government offices as well. They will be allowed to operate with 3% strength. All employees related to essential services will be allowed to work. The number of cases in Tamil Nadu stand at 1,683 and 20 deaths have been reported so far. So what is the reason that there is a lockdown within a lockdown? and even essential services as groceries are not being allowed. I want to cut across right now to my colleague Akshay Nath reporting from Chennai, getting us the latest on that. Akshay, explain what is the difference right now. You're already under lockdown, the state of Tamil Nadu. Now, certain areas having a lockdown within a lockdown. What does it mean and why? Seem to have Akshay. We're going to try and connect to her later. Let's move on. A big scare is in now Karnataka's Ramnagar jail after 5 accused who attacked civic workers in Bengaluru's Padya Narayanpura on Sunday tested positive. The police had arrested a total of 116 people. All of them were lodged in Ramnagar jail after they attacked civic workers who had gone to quarantine some people who were suspected to have coronavirus. Janata Dal leader and former State Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has accused PSY government of endangering lives in Ramanagra, which is a green zone with 0 COVID-19 cases.
An attack on civic workers in Bengaluru. The arrest of 116 people involved in the assault and their transfer to a neighbouring district is having far-reaching consequences for Karnataka. Ramnagar had not seen a single coronavirus case till now, despite being close to the state capital, which is a hot spot. But the district has just lost the badge of honour. 5 inmates of the Ramnagar prison have tested positive for coronavirus, allegedly because of a lapse by the state police. The police had kept all the suspects in the Bengaluru violence at the Ramnagar jail, but they overlooked the fact that the accused were from the same locality where the civic workers had gone to quarantine people who were suspected to have coronavirus. Former CM H.D. Kumaraswamy and his wife Anita, who are MLAs from the Ramnagar district, are accusing the Yedurappa government of endangering the residents of Ramnagar.
Ramnagaram basically that is green zone. No positive results were came from last 1.5 months. All people are very safe. Because of this bad incident, now people are panicking and danger started even in Ramnagar. For that actually government even now they have to take proper decision.
The 5 coronavirus positive under trials are currently getting treatment while all the Ramnagar jail officials who interacted with them are in quarantine. The state government says all precautions are being taken.
5 people have tested positive out of 100 and almost 117 plus tests what we have done. And they have been shifted to Victoria Hospital, others are shifted to Hajj.
The authorities have shifted all the remaining accused to the Hajj Bhavan in Bengaluru. But the fear is it might be too late now that some of the accused have already tested positive.
The authorities have moved the remaining accused to Hajj Bhavan in Bengaluru, but the fear is it might be too late as some of the accused have tested positive. Nagarjun Dwarkanath in Bengaluru.
All right, news break coming in. A serious lockdown violation has been reported in Karnataka's Devangar district. Karnataka's Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa's political secretary Renuka Acharya defied all social distancing norms while distributing ration kits to Asha workers. All Asha workers, can you see here, sitting cramped in a room. If this is not a violation of social distancing, then what is? These are the women who have to go out there and explain and teach social distancing to villages, to the rural belt, and all of them seem cramped up here in such a small space to be distributed ration kits. Meanwhile, after a pizza delivery boy tested positive, a vegetable hawker in Delhi's Mehroli area has also tested positive for COVID-19. South Delhi DM has issued a statement saying that all vendors in the area are now being screened and also urged people to not misbehave with any vendor. He asked residents to refrain from purchasing vegetable from any vendor showing symptoms. Now, this was in Delhi, but let's shift focus to Gujarat. In Gujarat, all eyes are in on an ATM booth after initial findings suggest that 3 army personnel who tested positive last evening seemed to have the ATM as the common source of infection, as they had all withdrawn money from that one ATM. Meanwhile, in Karnataka, at a time when proper hygiene and social distancing is the only way to stop the spread of coronavirus, this officer in Karnataka seems to have taken the advice otherwise. Yasmin Sultan, who works as a local officer in the Bantwala Town Municipal Council, was seen using the same thermometer to screen people. She dipped the thermometer in water and then used it on the next person. All this was happening only 400 meters away from the COVID hospital area. All right, shifting focus, Maharashtra Housing Minister Jitendra Awad has tested positive for COVID-19. Jitendra Awad was admitted to a Thane hospital on Tuesday after a week-long of self-quarantine. Earlier, 16 people associated with Awad, including 5 police officers, cooks, house help, party workers, tested positive. Awad has been in contact with a senior cop of Mumbai police station who had tested positive for the coronavirus. What is imperative to be told here is Jitendra Awad had first tested negative, so a false negative first, and it's only after 14 days has the minister tested positive. A lesson to everyone out there suspecting that they might have the disease but have tested negative: you might still need to be in quarantine for the next 14 days. Well, with an increase in temperatures, kill the virus? That's the big question that countries across the world are debating. A senior health official in Trump administration has claimed that sunlight, heat and humidity can create conditions that are less favorable for the spread of coronavirus. The claim is backed by a recent concluded scientific study conducted by Science and Technology Directorate of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Right, folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
We have to assume that the virus will continue to have the capacity to spread, and it's a false hope to say yes, it will just disappear in the summertime like influenza virus. We hope it does. That would be a godsend, but we can't make that assumption, and there is no evidence right now to suggest that that will happen. So we need to fight the virus now, not live in hope that the virus may disappear on its own.
It's been a month since India is under lockdown. Parents all across the country are having a tough time as their children are either glued to TV screens or spending time in gadgets like mobile and laptops. Here's a report by my colleague Pooja.
The phone is a child's best friend in these times. Spending time indoors in the lockdown, children and young adults are hooked to the screen all day long. Doctors, however, have a word of caution for both parents and children. Lying on bed for several hours, crouched into chairs, poor body postures and excessive screen time can have many negative effects.
Wrong postures, long screen time will ultimately affect their cervical spine, thoracic spine, and most commonly the lower back, the lumbar spine, apart from their shoulders, wrists and fingers, etc. Hence it is advisable that most of these children should avoid some time from the screen and should be encouraged by parents. The parents should take the lead to make them do exercises in a playful way.
Doctors advise physical exercises like jumping, squat, skipping, running and push-ups. Even mild yoga is advisable.
And excessive screen time causes both dryness as well as some amount of muscle weakness. The dryness is caused because when you're staring at a screen for a continued amount of time, it's like a partial hypnotic state, and that staring of the screen sort of reduces the amount of blink rates of the eye across the board for all age groups, not just children, even for adults.
With schools shut for now, most educational institutions are organizing online classes. Hours are spent glued to the screen and doing homework and interacting with a virtual classroom. Ophthalmologists are suggesting relaxing techniques for children.
Other things that you can do is a little bit of hot compresses on the eye, maybe twice a day. Nice hot compress with a cloth soaked in hot water put on the eye twice a day for about 8 to 10 minutes.
Children restricted indoors for too long can also begin to suffer mental health issues.
I think what we need to understand is that children would need stimulation. So what we as parents need to do is first ensure there is physical activity. Second, ensure that you have a lot of board games that you can play together. Bring a level of engagement to them, some fun, but you also need to appreciate that we need children to be positive. We need children to feel good and relaxed and have a routine.
Bureau Report, Pooja Shali for India Today.
Now, every day at 7, we bust certain myths, certain claims that are usually making the rounds of social media, WhatsApp messages, which claim to be true, but are not true. Well, one of them, claims floating about, is the image of a corona-positive woman screaming in pain. Well, the fact check on this image that you saw is that the woman is not suffering from coronavirus, so false. Now, the other claim which is floating about is that a man hugs his corona-positive daughter wrapped in clear plastic. Not true. This is not a right image. It's false. A father on COVID duty meeting his son was what it was said to be. It's not. So this is also false. All right, with these two busting of myths or claims, it's a wrap on 7 at 7. We, of course, will come and see you on Monday. You have a fabulous weekend. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.